In this video, I'm gonna show you the optimal diet for building muscle, increasing your testosterone, building an aesthetic physique. There's a lot of wrong advice out there, and there's also a lot of good advice out there, but I don't think that it's optimal. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you the perfect, most optimal diet for growing muscle and maintaining that long-term in a sustainable way. Fitness industry focuses way too much on your macros, which absolutely is vital and important. But what also matters is what those protein, fats, and carbohydrates are made of. Dirty bulking and clean eating are absolutely not the same thing and will not get you the same results because they're gonna impact your testosterone differently, which is then gonna impact how you build muscle. So what will the perfect diet do for you? It will maximize muscle growth, increase your testosterone, minimize fat, improve your health, and it feels sustainable and it's enjoyable. Alright, so today we live in a modern environment with a modern diet, and this has caused a 60 to 90% decline in testosterone. And a large reason to this is because of our modern diet, because of processed food, processed seed oils, processed sugar, processed carbohydrates. And if you don't have testosterone, you're not gonna build muscle. So what the most important part when it comes to this diet is to eat foods that has been around for thousands of years. Single ingredient or very few ingredient. You don't want to consume processed foods with 10, 20, 30 different ingredients. Your body's not meant to process this. The second thing we want to avoid apart from processed foods is vegetables. Vegetables, and particularly soy, which contains estrogen, which is gonna fuck up your testosterone. Vegetables contains a lot of plant defense mechanisms like oxalates and these. You especially want to avoid eating a lot of kale, a lot of spinach, and basing your entire diet around vegetables. You want to try to minimize them. The third thing you want to minimize is seafood. A lot of fish that's been in the ocean, it's gonna contain microplastics, lead, mercury, because they're eating all of the plastic in the ocean. Eating seafood, vegetables, or processed food every once in a while is fine, but we want to limit this to less than 10% of our diet. You also want to avoid seed, nuts, and grains. Alright, so these are the things that you want to try to avoid or at least limit. Now, what should you eat? You want to base your diet around meat, raw dairy, organs, fruit, and raw honey or maple syrup. Now all of these foods will be safe for all people, and on top of this you can add some complex carbs like potatoes, sweet potatoes, sourdough bread, and some low oxalate vegetables like carrots or baby carrots. You want to avoid, the spinach, the lots of kale, and eating a lot of vegetables. That's gonna give you a lot of plant defense mechanisms and not be optimal for your hormones. When it comes to fruit, some things that are fruits are cucumber and avocados. So you know that. When it comes to meat, you want to get it grass-fed and organic. It means that the cow have been eating grass instead of grains, because when the cows eat grass, they're gonna be consuming a lot of processed grains and oils, and this will mess up their hormones. So when you eat it, it's gonna negatively impact your hormones compared to grass-fed. The same with when I said raw dairy. If you don't get raw, when they process the milk, it's gonna increase the estrogen, and that's negatively gonna impact your testosterone. Then fruits, you want to get all of your fruits or most of your fruits organic. This is really important, okay, more important than you think, because if you don't buy organic, they're gonna spray pesticides, and it's also gonna contain GMO, which means that they have modified the fruit, modified the gene, they've grown it in a lab. You want it to be grown in nature without pesticides. There's a pesticide that's called atrazine, and it made frogs change gender. And you can go on EWG's website and found the most toxic fruits that you want to avoid. This is especially berries like strawberries, blueberries, apples. These are gonna contain the most amount of pesticides, so these you really want to avoid. And this is just as bad as processed food. So when you're eating fruits and berries, you think that you're really healthy, but you're secretly consuming a lot of these pesticides and GMOs. That's fucking up your testosterone, your sperm count, and your health. You want to get raw glyphosate-free honey. Don't get the normal honey that's not organic, okay? That's gonna mess up your health, okay? That contains a bunch of added sugars, pesticides sprayed on the beehives and everything. It's really important, if you're gonna do this, that you get raw honey, okay? And also raw maple syrup and organic. Otherwise, don't do it, okay? If you can't get organic fruits or meat, it's better to get it unorganic, of course, because you gotta eat something. It's better than not getting it or eating processed foods or vegetables or anything like that. But when it comes to raw honey and maple syrup, get it organic, and also organs. Get organic organs, because otherwise you don't know what the fuck the butcher has done with them. And the best organ that you can get for increasing your testosterone, building your muscles, is testicles. Testicles has actually tested positive in the drug tests for sports, because it contained natural testosterone. Now we're gonna go into your macros, which is where muscle growth comes from. How much protein, carbohydrates, and fat should you consume? When it comes to protein, it's very simple. You just eat a fuck ton of meat and eggs. Try to get 10 eggs a day, as many steaks as you can possibly get, ground beef. You don't want to go below, I would say 0.8, just to be on the safe side, especially not below 0.6 grams. Some people, they have, trouble tracking it. So I would just say that try to stick within, if you're about average weight, try to stick between 120 grams to 180 grams of protein. Just make sure that you get enough protein. Whether you get that in 2 meals or 3 or 4 throughout the day, just make sure that you get enough high quality protein. And if you're gonna do a protein shake, make sure that you get a high quality organic whey protein powder, mix in a banana, maybe some organic peanut butter, that's fine, mix it in there, and possibly some berries too. But you do want to consume protein in preferably the first meal of the day and also the last. And then when it comes to carbs, you want to eat it before you work out and after. You can also pre-workout, do some yogurt with honey and fruits or maple syrup. That's gonna give you some healthy sugars and carbohydrates to fuel you up for your workout. And post-workout, you can eat a large meal of some complex carbohydrates like potatoes with some meat and fruit. Now, you don't want to consume protein too late after your workouts. So you don't want to wait like a few hours. You want to try to eat as soon as possible after you finish the workout, so you can get that protein and carbohydrates into your bloodstream. And you want to get enough fats. This is really important for your testosterone. Cholesterol is made from fats, and you will get this from your egg yolks, your avocados, and what you cook the meat in especially. You don't want to cook it in seed oils, canola oil, or anything like that. You want to cook it in raw tallow, grass-fed butter, ghee. This is really important, that you get healthy amounts of fats. And to grow muscle, you obviously need to be in a slight calorie surplus, about 200 to 300 calories above your maintenance calories is a good estimate. You don't want to start going beyond that, because then you're gonna add fat, and if you go below that, you're not gonna add any muscle. If you're fat, then it's still not gonna be optimized. You can track it if you want, but once you start exercising and if you move a lot, you're gonna increase your appetite, and then you're naturally just gonna start to be eating a little bit more. And you wanna gain about 2 to 3 pounds per month. Then you know that you're in a slight calorie surplus. And when it comes to fasting, you don't want to go overboard with that, because that might lower your testosterone. You want to have a good balance, about 2 to 3 hours before you wake up until you eat your first meal is good. Super quick. I can get you to put on 10 to 20 pounds of muscle in 3 months, guaranteed, and get you to build an aesthetic, Hollywood looking physique that's attractive to girls. If that sounds interesting, then I'd love to see you in my one-on-one coaching program. If you're interested in that, then click the top link in the description to book a free 30-minute call where we will see if we're a right fit for this program. And another thing you can do is to make fun dishes and experiment with new cuts of meats that you have never tried before, or get different exotic fruits. Try all the fruits. I mean, there's hundreds if not thousands of fruits out there. There's so many different cuts of meats, there's so many different cheeses, that I mean, this diet is fun, it's enjoyable. Experiment with making a new dish with the meat and the complex carbohydrates. I mean, you can make lovely dishes with this that are, I mean, absolutely enjoyable, and it gives you top tier health. And this diet is absolutely sustainable and enjoyable if you try to get about 90 to 95% of your calories from this diet. Alright, that's it for this video. Again, top link in the description for the free call. Go and follow me over on Instagram for more tips, and on YouTube over here, and I'll see you in the next video.